Thanks, Tucker. Great. And so, with that, I'm very pleased to introduce Ben Shears, who can talk about a client's experience with EnrollmentRx and Salesforce.com and their migration from an enrollment management perspective into the cloud. Ben is actually due for congratulations. He was just promoted to VP of Institutional Advancement at Crowley College. He was the former Executive Director of Enrollment and Outreach Services. We worked very closely with Ben to implement EnrollmentRx and Salesforce at Crowley. So, Ben, thank you very much, and welcome to the webinar.
Thank you, Lawrence. Appreciate you being here, having the opportunity.
Thanks, Ben. And so if I just might ask you a few questions, and of course feel free to fill in whatever you would like to say, but maybe you can just share with the audience, why did Crowley College initially feel the need for a CRM system for enrollment management?
You betcha. The big struggle that we were kind of dealing with was we had an old legacy system for our SIS. I would say it was pretty comparable to DOS, and so it was really pretty cumbersome for us to be able to run reports. We really struggled with tracking any prospective student data. It was more of a receptacle, if you will, in which we just dumped names in and then kind of struggled to filter that information back out as we needed to, send out mailings and make quality contact with our prospective students. And then we're an institution of around 4,600 students. It's a fairly small community college, and we only had one programmer on campus to service the needs of every single department. So we were kind of in the, I would say, depending on how hard we fought, we were up and down that chain of priorities within our IT department as far as how quickly we could get reports, generate reports, and my monthly reporting cycle was very, very cumbersome.
Great, Ben. And I think you already gave some hint at it, but why then was it important for your institution to select a cloud-based CRM system as opposed to a traditional CRM system?
Mm-hmm. Well, we looked around a little bit, and we were really trying to look for a way in which we could find something that was progressive, see that being a smaller college, we didn't have the finances to invest into large packages that would then take months to implement and things like that. But we needed a solution that would fit our needs and hopefully exceed, and something that would not set us back hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so that was one of the big things. Our technology department was also, our IT folks were very reluctant to dedicate any additional hardware, having to purchase additional servers and more technology staff to support, any of the, if you will, big box, CRMs and SIS add-ons and things like that. And I think the biggest thing for us, for my IT staff, was that all of the software updates are handled by EnrollmentRx, and that was certainly a huge thing for them. They were very excited about the fact they didn't have to get up early in the morning or stay up late at night to do software updates. So
Right. Great. And so, Ben, can you just share with us a little bit, post the implementation, what immediate benefits did you start to see from having a CRM system in place?
Well, I think the biggest benefit that I saw personally was the amount of time that it took me to generate my monthly board report. With our old system, I was running, DOS-style queries and things like that, and I would probably spend at the beginning of the month probably, 2 to 3 hours or so on the day that the board report was due, filtering through stuff, formatting everything, and getting it all ready. The biggest benefit to me now has been that I've been able to cut my reporting time down, where I've got it all set up on dashboards, which everybody probably saw a little bit of earlier. And so I literally can log in, take the data right there off my snapshot from my dashboards, and have my reporting time cut down to be maybe 10 minutes, probably somewhere in that ballpark. But that's been the most immediate thing for me. Organizationally, the biggest benefit has been we are finally, for the first time since I've been involved in admissions and enrollment, able to begin to see a true admissions funnel. We've never been able to track, going early back into the admission cycle with the students a sophomore in high school, how effective some of our recruitment was even that early. And we're at the point now that we're starting to be able to track progress and be able to review everything to see what's working, what's not working, and how we can adjust those around. So that's been huge.
That's great. That's great, Ben. And Ben, can you talk a little bit about how long it took to actually implement and deploy the solution, as well as was there any customization or functionality specific to Crowley that you needed, and how were we able to accommodate that?
You bet. Well, that was kind of the neat thing too. I've got friends who are at other organizations that are doing implementations for various different CRM softwares, and I hear a lot of horror stories about how long it's taking them to implement. And from the point that we said, hey, we're good to go, let's go ahead and do this, and we contacted Lawrence, of course, and I would say it probably was no more than about 2 months, maybe 3, before we were up and running. They had trained us, and we were fully operational. So probably 2 to 3 months was about the time that it took us to turn around. So that was pretty quick for us. As far as customizing, the big thing that we did, everything was pretty well ready to go for us because we had visited with the folks there at Enrollment RX in advance, and they had worked with us to say, what kinds of needs do you have? And so we just customized, a little bit with our fields from our old system, looked to see which ones were important for us to retain and which ones we weren't, going to be utilizing. And just they customized it for us, showed us how to customize it ourselves. So post-implementation, we could make those changes to whatever we needed. And then, by golly, we rocked and rolled from there.
Great, Ben. And just lastly, can you talk a little bit about, now that you have been using the CRM for quite a while and you see the potential for the product and for the platform, what would you envision maybe in the future might be in the plans for Crowley, and how would other institutions in general be able to apply CRM?
You bet. Well, on our side of things, we've really used it primarily on the admissions side, and that's where we really wanted to get our feet wet and see what we could do. And in the process, as we've rolled this out and have been working with it for a while, well, then the light bulbs start going off. And so we're looking at ways that we can utilize this to deploy housing information to our students in advance, for our housing department to then, track those students, make sure they got their contracts back in, send and receive them electronically, store them electronically. We're looking at, in the very near future, we are doing some changes here at the college in which we're going to be doing some work with our scholarship department to be bringing them in, and that's actually going to be probably coming in the next few months. The neat thing about that has been, we have the ability now and the knowledge now to be able to help customize some of that ourselves, and that's been a really great thing. Now that I'm changing positions and I'll be working more in institutional advancement and more with alumni work and giving, we're very excited, and I've been working with Lawrence to see about what we can do to bring Enrollment RX and Salesforce in general up alongside the current software that we use. And ultimately, since I've had a chance to see what we currently use now, I think it's ripe for replacement, and I think we'll be able to utilize Salesforce and Enrollment RX to meet the needs for our alumni and endowment needs.
Great. Thanks so much, Ben. We really appreciate that. Any other comments you wanted to add, just ad lib, before, of course, we're going to take questions at the end?
I guess the last little thing I would say was just that I can't express quite enough that what we had come from with the old legacy system and our inability and frustrations to be able to get reports, to be able to very quickly address things that needed to be addressed with our marketing, with our high school visits, tracking, all that kind of stuff. It's revolutionized what we're doing in the office, and we're able to respond much more quickly. Our admissions reps before were never able to access any data while they're out on the road recruiting high school students. So if they have downtime between visits now, they're able to log on, check to see some of the students they have coming up at their next visit, see what kind of interactions they've already had with them. So from a customer service, standpoint, and building those relationships, we've gone from 0 to hero, so it's been a big thing for us. So
great. Well, thanks again so much, Ben. We appreciate it.
You bet.